Kind of sad.
Which means 2 hours in, unless you want to take over the last hour for me, Mom.
Mm, no.
Okay. No.
Nope, 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 nope.
Oh, by the way, my Zephyr mask will arrive tomorrow.
Ooh, cool. I
The
haven't
what
even...
mask?
His Zephyr, the new face mask from Razer. I haven't even seen them announce another event coming up.
Wait, face mask? What? Face mask from Razer? What?
Yeah.
I have no
Yeah,
clue.
I will get a
I'll
picture.
post a link.
All right, you post the link.
Means I have to go to Twitch.
No. Well, yeah, I can put in either thing though.
Throw it into Twitch. He has to go look anyway.
Put it in Strike Group for you. I'll put it in Twitch
Yeah,
for
but
you.
if you put it on Twitch,
Then everybody else will see what I'll have. And
Yeah, but I'm not saying you're getting this. I'm just putting the link out there.
yeah.
There you go. I put it in yours.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it won't even let me copy it in.
No, it will let you copy it.
Click
It
the
just
link.
doesn't show that it's copying it.
It won't let me copy it.
Yeah, it does. Just imagine it's really working. Start at the beginning,
I
hit
did.
Control, scroll to the end.
It won't let me.
And when you go to paste it, what does it do?
I try to highlight it, and it just.
No, it doesn't highlight. You just pretend that it's highlighting.
What?
Press Control. Click just before the H. Go to just after the R. Hit copy.
I'm doing that, and it's not letting me.
It really does work. No, it doesn't show that it's working, but when you go to paste it, it actually works.
No, it does not do anything for me.
Why don't you?
Well, I put the same link in Twitch and I put it in Discord.
Yeah. Why don't you just click on the link? It'll open.
Why would you want to wear something like that?
Just look at the end. The thing's got RGB on it, man, as well. You have it rainbow swirling.
First point. I have to communicate with people. Second point. People. Second point. With my job, there are people who go, I don't understand what you're saying. I can't see your mouth move.
Also, okay. Oh.
If it had a bit inbuilt voice changer, I'd think about it.
I wish a voice changer in there. That would actually be even more fun.
Brilliant.
Oh man, that'd be great.
Third point. I'll have the mask on. It doesn't amplify your voice, but it is far enough off that you can see.
We could work on that,
Yeah.
Figure out how to put in a small mic.
Yeah. Third point. Then I can go, but you are merely born to the darkness. I was born in it, raised by it. I did not see night until I was an adult. Bane, Dark Knight Returns.
I wonder if we could get the lights to go along with whatever you're saying.
Lights are controlled via a phone app.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, technically, if you hit it right, you could make it work that way. And the thing's an N95 mask, so when I'm
So you're getting a mask with RGB.
Yep.
Yeah. You're not
that thing is, I'm tempted to get it.
And it's got fans in there too, so.
Yeah, that's kind of what got my attention is the fans.
The RGB,
that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Despite how much I don't like fans, I have to admit that looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Fans are kind of gaming laptop loud from what I've heard, but it's still. It just.
I wonder if they'd let me wear that to work.
It's an N95 mask.
Yeah.
It's actually technically it's got 2 filters on it.
Yep, 3 actually. Because I think the bottom part's filter too, because it's vented. And the area around your mouth has a silicone point, so you're not, unless you're allergic to silicone. But
well, if one's an outtake, then it doesn't need a filter on it, I don't think. Whichever one's an outtake.
Razor's probably the last company I would expect to make a medical mask.
Lera,
or a mask of any sort.
They've actually been working on this for over a year, so it's not bad.
Lera, if your boyfriend's cool, he will steal the mask from you. Unfortunately. Now I don't know if I'll use it for work or not, though. One of my coworkers the person was training me is daring me to do it. And I might, because I do have to communicate with a lot of people, but...
Does it work as a proper respirator then?
No, not as a respirator.
Yeah. It's an N95. It's N95 respirator with be sealed system.
So there's mostly, isn't it then?
But it'd be good for a cyberpunk costume on top of that too. But if I get it in and we can figure out a 2-camera thing, or I decide to host again, who knows? I might wear it on air. I might not. You never know.
If you can figure out how way to get the microphone on the inside, that may not be a big deal.
You could do it. Yeah,
well, I say that if you got those fans on, the microphones might be picking up those fans.
You can turn the fans
off.
Voice
change off Amazon, surely.
Yeah.
Stick it in there or something.
And you can find a small mic alpha, like if there's certain, you get a little freaking mic off, you can get a small Bluetooth mic to make that work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, you'd be heard off your speakers when you're doing that instead. But still. But I bet if Mom had this, she would wear it to work.
I don't need to, but I would totally wear it every place else, especially back in Chicago where they're back to mask mandates. That would be so cool to have that.
Yeah, like I said, as far as points go, they're probably still going to be back and forth on mandates by the time Mission Chicago rolls around.
God knows what they're going to be doing for Mission Chicago.
Are people getting third jobs over there?
Are people getting third jobs? No.
Yeah, booster jobs. Yeah, they're having booster jobs.
The booster shots? Yeah, I got my third one already.
Yeah.
But we are considered to be mission critical with our work. So we're up there as the higher priority. Not that there's a lack of them. But they're encouraging, if you're young or healthier, don't get it till at least 8 months have passed. They're finding a better reaction after 8 months.
Yeah, they're doing it by age range over. You can't get it if you're over 55 and medically vulnerable.
How much is this mask?
$99 for the mask. If you
How
want
much?
the mask, $99.
$99.
Yeah. Unless you want the full starter set with a couple of spare filters, that's $150.
Okay, that might be expensive for a mask. That's a cool mask, but I'm not willing to pay $150 for a mask.
But when you think about it, 50 N95s are already about N95s. A box of 50 of them is going to be about, or it's like 30 or 50 is like, I think it's like 50 of them are like $30. When you start looking at it with those numbers,
well, at this moment in time,
the Razor one though.
At this moment in time, I have access to free masks.
Well,
because they're provided to
not
me.
Cost effective for you to
Yeah.
get it. Yeah. We have boxes and boxes and boxes of masks sitting around from when we weren't doing masks. Then we were working remotely. Then the people who were in were doing the mandated distance, so you didn't have to wear a mask unless you were closer than that. Blah, 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 blah. And now about 2/3 of us are fully vaccinated. 1/3 aren't going to, but they have to get a COVID test at every week because if we go someplace, they have to have a negative test. So.
And the other point, I mean, normally for work, I'm wearing this thing right now. That's not going to be too much different from what I'm normally wearing, so.
Yeah, and since are you talking to people face to face?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be so much nicer if they can see your face.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to tell my supervisor about this because either A, he'll find it cool, or B, he'll go, you can't do that.
It's a mask.
Yeah, it's a mask.
It's a N95 rated mask.
Make sure the RGBs are like swirling in pink, and
I'm not going to turn the RGB.
Just say you use it.
You're obsessed about the RGB right now.
Well, I'm just saying,
I'll do it for
you can just use the excuse that you can see your mouth when you're talking, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So the deaf people.
Well, the lights are inside are easier to see. Make it easier to see for sure. But anyway.
Yeah. I'm not for sure if I would want the inner lights showing off my mouth.
Well, I have, like I said, my job is literally 100% communicating with people.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, because my new job, which pays really good, and if anybody wants points, I'm setting up people for appointments with a solar company to get solar panels. If you own your own home and you are interested.
Solar panel?
Really?
Solar, yeah.
Solar panel.
Solar panels.
You've seen the movie
Bird I am
right?
interested, but I need to get my house built first.
Yeah, I gotta get a house out here, but definitely need them out here.
You can do it on your other house. And no, Board King, you don't qualify because honestly, manufactured home you're in.
You might get a real house. You never know.
No.
He just suddenly said no.
On my post, Mom, I'm not going to get anything real in life. I'm not going to. They want to be a bunch of. There. I'm not going to say it online. On air. A-holes there, I'll say that.
But like I said, it's a really good job, so.
So you're basically, are you like selling them? Or are you some kind of customer service or?
Technically customer service because I'm working in a couple stores. I'm directly communicating with people and qualifying them to see if they can actually get solar on their home, and then setting up appointments for a salesperson. So there's a lot. So literally, there's getting their attention. There's speaking with them. There's a lot of communication involved. Not gonna say where. I'm keeping my identity for that a little bit secret at the moment, but it's literally a good job, and as Mom can tell you from running into me in conventions, I can stop people and get their attention.
Yes, you can.
I mean, I hate to say it, I think I generate, according to the person who was training me, because I just jumped in and started trying to get people's attention and do this stuff. I think I got them like 2 or 3 out of the 2 days. I think I got them like 2 or 3 appointments set. So. It's doable. And I feel like doing another random. Who wants to join me for another random?
I'll join you.
All right.
I'll join you.
Everybody wants to join you.
Which side?
KDF.
Fed? Yeah, I'm on Fed now.
I could team you for a random and do that, but I do not work with Federation. Until I'm Fed. But jumping in for the random unless anybody else wants to join. Anybody in the audience want to join? Yeah, I got pretty... I'm in a manufactured home, and it's really not bad. A lot of things I'd like to change on it eventually, but it's not a bad house. Mom's been out here.
Yeah.
And the other 2 stories, there's double. There's I think there was one I saw. There was like 3. It's like 3 together. It's a huge house, but it was all manufactured. So, and then there's prefab, and there's a lot of points there. I'm going to queue us up for the random now.
Okay.
Woo?
No.
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 All right, I'm declining because everybody check their privates.
That's rather personal.
Yeah, I know.
I don't even
I'm leaving. Okay, I'm gonna leave this private.
All right, then.
I don't know how I even got in a private.
Last TFO, and you're already in task force operation, Mom. So you're in a private too.
No, I quit the private.
All right. There we go.
There we go.
Did it pop this time?
I have the wee woo.
See, communication is always a good thing.
Yes.
And man, I'm way off topic on stuff tonight, I noticed. Round it goes. What will be, nobody knows. Somebody said we're not going to get minor instabilities. We got minor instabilities.
We got minor instabilities.
What does the Crenum Science Vessel look like?
Pardon?
The Crenum Science Vessel.
That's I think that's a long tubey one. Kind of looks like a pastry tube.
That's the big huge ship.
It's not that big, no.
Oh, so it's not the big mothership, right?
No, the Crenum
Okay.
one? No.
Is it the Anorak?
Romulans are taking
right?
from the south.
There.
Well, I'm dealing with ones from the west. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I'm up here with DT. Do you need somebody else down there? There's 3 of us up here.
Should be 2 over there. It's a 5-man team, so if you need help, one of us will run down.
Yep. Right, you go down there, we'll stay up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
We see this minor instability, because I've never done that one.
There's someone who's been...
That won't be true in just a moment.
Oh, he's not on this team, so it's not.
Oh, what the heck?
He wouldn't team with us.
Oh.
I offered to go private because I can key randoms from privates, but no.
You didn't want a non-Klingon in there.
And then I said I'll put you in a private.
If you didn't find a fifth person, is what you said.
No. I did not say anything about fifth person. I just said private. Because I can actually queue from private for a random. I should pick up some crystalline prisms. Maybe I should go help from the south, but there is so much stuff around here.
Somebody's got a suck box. Oh, it's an old school Gorny Gorn.
Yep. Yep. Zap, zap, zap. Don't have anything to do the big jump.
Telling me to heal the Gorn, but the Gorn does not want to heal.
It's not good.
Ah!
They got me.
Boy. Would have saved you.
That's alright.
Could show him TOS, you know.
Could.
It's a cultural thing.
It's a cultural phenomena. At least start on the movies.
Well. You can keep it as a thing for yourself, you know.
Kinky.
I mean, my husband watches Star Trek, but he doesn't get why I do this. Alright, let's see.
Why not?
I mean, he plays his games, he just doesn't get my, you know, traveling to Vegas and spending all my time writing the books and playing the game and doing the live stream and visiting with you guys. I don't get why he doesn't get it.
Or counting for taste.
Then again, I don't get why he goes out and plays golf, because to me that's just silly.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think Robin Williams, I can try to do the bad accent.
Okay, which bad accent?
Okay, ready? Here's how I was describing golf, and I'm just going to paraphrase a lot of this stuff. I figured out a game. You take a ball, put it in a hole. You mean like croquet? No, F croquet. Croquet use a straight stick. We're going to use a messed up little stick.
Yeah, that sounds like golf to me.
Oh, so I'll be like, no, not like that. So you do this once? No, that's the funny part of it. We're going to do this 18 effing times.
Yeah, no.
It's gonna be a straight shot. No, we're gonna put stuff in the way, and then right around the hole, we're gonna put a nice big patch of grass to give you hope. and then after that, and you're just gonna swing away and go. Every time you miss, you feel like you're gonna have a stroke. That's what we call it, a stroke. Because every time you miss, you feel like you're gonna effing die. And then there was another comedy point. You know the reason why they call it golf?
No.
All the other four-letter words were taken.
Ah, yes. Well, that does make perfect sense in my opinion.
And another person kind of described it this way: you hit the ball, you go after it, and if you're lucky to find it, what do? You hit it again.
See, that's why you should bring dogs into it. Dogs will go get the ball for you.
And if I brought dogs, they'd be hunting dogs.
And then eat it.
If you take too long, they're gonna hunt you down, man.
Here's the question.
Yes.
What is the most powerful Federation ship? Period.
It really depends. It depends on what you like flying. As in, there is no official point to really say what would be the most powerful Federation ship. If you're talking canonically on, they are claiming the Inquiry is the most powerful because for the fastest, toughest ship in Starfleet. But in the game here,
The Inquiry?
nothing. Yeah.
In game? Oh, nothing in game.
Oh. Just because there's so many things you can do with so many
Yeah.
ships.
There's nothing in game because you can customize things so much. It's
ET, was this random?
yeah. This was random.
Sweet. Well, that wasn't too bad.
No, I only died once.
See, we only lost one Gorn miner, no Federation. Drill shut down and fast. Marks reward. Yeah, we did good.
Yeah. Especially for characters, well, let's be honest, my Klingon's not my strongest character by a long shot. I mean, my Klingon is definitely not the strongest character here.
Yeah, they're sold out of this mask. I'm tempted to put myself on the waiting list, though.
Do it.
Well, what happens is they send out a announcement
Email.
about 24 hours before the next one.
Right.
So put yourself on the list, and you'll get an email the next time they're going to have some available.
Mm-hmm.
And
like I said, it came up for me literally Tuesday night for a 9 a.m. Wednesday morning thing, and I was on, and that was, and I had to be doing online training at that point, so it was online. I just checked. I got in literally and through real quick last time.
yeah, I think they're finally starting to get enough that they're able to supply them a little bit more often, and the lists are a little less horrible.
Yeah.
The wait lists.
Don't know for sure, but hey, it worked. I got it.
Yay!
And Mom can be very happy about that.
Yay!
You know what I want to do for the rest of the stream right now?
No, what do you want to do?
Not caring really about doing more randoms that we can if people want. I'll sit here and answer questions for people.
What
Okay.
is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
European or African?
I don't know that one.
You need to know. There's a difference.
No, don't
American.
you
There is.
don't you remember the scene? I don't know.
What is your favorite color?
Yes. Yes.
You will now.
What?
You will now go and fetch us a shrubbery, and then you might get your answer.
Shrubbery.
Sorry.
What is the capital of Syria?
And then after that, perhaps we will have you go into the forest and cut down the largest tree you can find with a herring.
It's a herring.
Which, for game reference, you will then have to descale the herring.
Well, I always have a 7-day wait before I can sell my Zen for Dill. No, you should not always have that. Usually after 1 or 2 times and you're established as being a regular buyer, that disappears.
Yeah, I mean, my first Dill purchases on there, my first Zen purchases were for stuff in game, and then it just kind of established things after that, so.
Yeah, they used to have people go on there, buy a bunch of Zen, and just ruin the market. So they put on a 7-day wait.
Which ruined the market in another fashion.
Yeah, but it's a different kind of ruination.
Yeah.
It's a politer, friendlier, kinder type.
No, it's not. It's
I'm
anger.
joking.
It is anger. What they did with the economy is not gone over well.
Yeah, well, it's hard. Game economy, that when all of a sudden the entire world economy goes to heck. I drove by the Carvana vending machine on the way back from work today. It was empty. It was empty.
Damn.
There were no cars in the vending machine. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, literally, I was hoping we would hit something in Vegas. We didn't really hit anything. If we did,
anything.
Yeah, we didn't even try because just nothing jumped out at us for anything. But if it happened when we were out there, I told Mom, if something happened and we hit something, I would freaking go to the vending machine. I'd just vend a car and go home.
Hey, just Ron, how are you doing?
Getting rid of some prisoners here, so.
I was glad to hear that. So, Ron, if you went off and you bought Zen today, you think you'd still have that weight? I only had it the first time and never since, but I always use the same credit card, same account, same everything.
I go through PayPal and usually that takes care of it for me, but
wow. I haven't bought Zen in a long time, though. I might buy some next week or the week after.
Black Friday soon.
Since might have some money next week and might not have to spend it on practical things for once.
I know last year there was a Zen charge bonus. There was a
What
Zen
is
bonus.
practical?
there's a Zen charge bonus every year. The question is, what are the sales as far as what are the sales for all the items will be? Because there's usually a Zen store sale at the same time. Alina, yeah.
Well,
are you? Is that
the problem with the exchange has nothing to do. Is a different problem from the problem of
no, it can't even sell it. Are the lockbox or the stuff? Are you getting the key? Is the keys you're buying with the Zen? Let me see if I got this right here. Are the keys you're buying with the Zen that's locked that you can't get that you're locked into? Because it might be that whole point. And it's just got to establish.
Did you do it
something.
through? Did you do it through Steam?
Is that a yes? You did through Steam?
Or is it a yes? It was with the Zen.
Through Steam.
Yes. Try doing it instead through the ARC website. See if that helps.
No, wait.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Zen is still locked that way through Steam for a few days, and you're buying the keys with it, and because of that, the items are locked for a few days. I think that's the chain it goes through. Don't quote me on this, but I believe that it's that's all the keys you buy and all that, the keys, the items, they're locked for that whole period because of that.
Thank you, Mark.
Ah. That would be why. Yeah, go through the ARC website next time. Which is what I just said.
Yep. Well, that's the whole idea. Now you can't return your Zen.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and also don't be the type of person. You can do PayPal through ARC, which is good, but just don't be that type of person who does it through PayPal and then dispute the charges.
Oh, I hate that.
And and there are people out there who are proud to do that stuff too. You know?
Yeah.
Don't dispute anything because they just ban your account.
Right. Well, if you dispute, go through customer service first, and they'll take away the key.
If you dispute, there's I have a history of banning your account, so I wouldn't even bother with it.
Now, if you accidentally buy too much, I mean, you might be able to walk through customer service as long as you don't do anything before you do that. But yeah,
I'd say fill a ticket out, but you probably it'll take that long to get your ticket fixed, so you might as well just wait.
It really depends. I mean, if you accidentally it's, well, technically, if you collect the wrong thing as far as buying Zen, which can happen.
But Julie, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Who's my fellow Trekkie? I'm not quite sure what you mean. Who's my fellow Trekkie? You guys all are my fellow Trekkies.
Yeah. Are you talking about me, Darkthorn, who's on the stream, or
Borgie? Borg King's here. Jason's here.
Me.
Mark was here. Is Mark still here?
Yeah, I think he's here.
Mark's still here.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just responds slowly, so we have to respond for him.
Yeah, Dark. That's Dark there. The guy who's, if you're watching this on Twitch, it's the guy in the picture there. Yeah. That's Darkthorn.
Yeah. I'm the invisible hat. I'm that voice that torments Mom in the evenings.
And in Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Well, yeah, that's because I'm usually the one who does these because I get here 3 hours earlier than he does.
Right.
But I had a real life thing to attend to today, so you get him.
Yeah. Hey, just Ron. Good to meet you here. Yeah, it's me doing this stuff.
Oh, Ron, did you... Ver was on the other night.
Yeah. I was on a little bit the other night, but with everything going on, I came home from work, Ray was... I just wasn't in a burned out mood at that point. Too much stuff going through the brain at that point. But it was good to see Ver around.
Yeah.
Now the question is, will Ver be back?
He says he'll be back.
He always says he'll be back.
For those of you who don't know Ron really is one of the first players who ever taught me about how cool being in a fleet could be in terms of just nice people who want you to have a good time and help you play the game.
Yeah. Yep, and we've all spread all the joy of that around to so many other people.
Yep. We try hard.
Yep. I guess we are the Borg. We assimilate you into the flaming tars of Grethor. Sorry.
Well, he is back around, so hopefully he'll be around one day that you're around.
But here's our Klingon fleet. The greatest Klingon fleet ever.
Which one?
Well, look on the screen probably about now.
Flaming Targs of Grethor.
Who knows, in a colder day, I might put on the vest and be...
I wore it the other day. It was warm.
Yeah.
Well, he's a fleet admiral still in the fleet. That hasn't changed.
Yeah, we haven't booted him out yet for that. Nor are we
Hey
going
guys,
to.
I'm gonna head on out. It was great playing with you guys again.
Yeah, no problem.
It's awesome to hear your voice again.
Good to have you around.
Well, thank you. All right, well, I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Have a good night. Yeah, just think. I don't know. Well, about 7 years I've been in this fleet now.
Wow. Wow, that means I've been here at least 8 years.
Yeah. I'd have to go look.
Scary.
I'd have to go look at Jason and my Jason character to figure that out. But
doesn't it say in the fleet logs how long you've been here?
Yeah, but I'm in Flaming Targs. That's the wrong fleet to look.
Oh yeah.
I'm now curious how long I've been in the Strike Group family. With everybody. I got like 2 characters who aren't in the Strike Group fleet and 1 fleet roster. Let's see.
Could be a date joined in there.
2015, January 14th, 2 days after Sav.
Wow. Man.
2015, I should say. 2015, yeah, so 6 years. Almost 7. That's not creepy at all.
Yeah, it is. Totally creepy.
Yeah. Any special projects that we should run for anybody?
I don't know.
I'd rather do a mark dump because the colonization efforts have been bogging down every time somebody hosts them.
Yeah.
Surplus mark dump for now?
If you want to do one, that's fine. I'm not a big fan of them, but hey, if you want to put stuff in there, that's fine.
I'm not a fan of that. I did one earlier and I filled it out. I had a bunch of marks. No, the problem I've been seeing with the colonization efforts is nobody's putting in the 64 civilian duty officers.
Yeah, I know. And that used to be how we'd burn through our
prisoners and everything else, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, oh yeah, I know what I was going to do. I know what I was about to do. I needed to check to see if there was a disruptor in this fleet bank. I want to put a disruptor Omni on that ship. And I think the answer will be no.
Cannot design.
So I guess
the Paladin class starship my way.
Okay.
It won't let me.
That's because the Paladin only has 1 skin to it. The other skin is off the tier 5 and you cannot mix and match parts.
That's
It is a future starship. It is not Burger King. You cannot have it your way.
I think Burger King sucks anyways.
And once again, language. This is Mom's stream. Do not...
Oh, right now it's your stream.
Yeah.
Well, I said suck, but I didn't say anything else.
And again, language. Yeah, we have to make a lot of stuff for this. All right, I'm just, you know what? Let's go take a look on the exchange for Disruptor Omni. See how much that will run.
Wait, what kind of disruptor?
Omni?
Omnidirectional. 3 mil. Yeah,
it's not bad.
Not bad. I don't think I have 3 mil on that character, and it's not bad. I think I'll just build it. Might take a couple days, but I got tomorrow off, so I can do this. Yay! Alright, I need it.
Word to God, these people do not know how to play the game.
Who doesn't know how to play the game?
Picked up at random. I got Zenkethi front.
Ah.
We've destroyed 4 bases. I'll rephrase that. There we go. There's somebody just floating around here carrying the bomb, not setting it off. We've completely distracted the whole field.
APS conduit.
Pugs.
Yep, gotta love them. Well, no, you don't.
Yeah. And here I was telling people that, how great it's been because, people have been playing the game right.
Yeah.
And that makes 25 randoms. Woot woot.
LeraKuro, if you want to join our fleet, just drop us a line. We invite all sorts of people to our fleet. We let Board King in. If we let him in, we'll let anybody in.
We have so many fleets, it's astounding.
You let me in as Abe Lincoln? No.
Yeah, you are the best Abe Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about that.
And if Garrett Wong says so, it's fact.
You got it.
Yeah, but Garrett took a picture of me holding a picture of Garrett and us at the triple booth. that's
it's intensely meta.
Yeah, I get the feeling the universe is going to explode at some point. Now feel free. I don't mind inviting people into our fleet because I believe in this fleet.
No, really?
Yeah, it's probably why I got like freaking 15 characters in here or something like that. 18.
Resonant Disruptor Beam Array. I don't know this one.
That would be off that mission, that Iconian mission.
Really?
Search regulator. Yeah.
It's Preserver.
Yeah, the Preserver tech. Yeah, it came off that Iconian mission we did the other day.
Okay, we did them all the other day, DT.
Yeah, I know, but it would be the one where we went to the Preserver cave, which I will tell you in a minute. It would be Blood of the Ancients.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, DT, it's getting to the end of my day, so...
It's getting to the end of my day, too, I think. But I'll sit here and talk to people if...
Well, I'm going to log off because I need some sleep. But I will be on tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. with Ed.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll be back tomorrow at 7 p.m.
7 p.m.? Oh, wait, yeah, that'd be 5.
The usual time. I won't be an hour and a half late, or however late I was tonight.
I would say we have about 24 armadas, because I think Klingon's full up, Fed's full up.
No, Klingon is not full up. Klingon is... We have 3 betas, and 2 of the betas are completely filled, so that would be 4, 8, 9,
That'd be 4 less
10.
than 20. Yeah.
And then we have a full Federation.
We have a dozen there, so that'd be... It's actually a really good point. I know inventory.
Yeah, Ron, we've ramrodded our way into being an alpha fleet and just taking over the world, universe, galaxy, the whole thing.
And then
It is ours now.
and then what's going to happen is probably we'll get some like ancillary up, and they'll become a sister alpha fleet, and we're going to take over everybody. Everyone will be one of us. One of us.
One of the crew. One of the ship. One of the crew.
Mm-hmm.
Just out of curiosity, since you mentioned it, I thought I'd go see if I can find out when I join the fleet.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious now too. Isolinear circuitry. I need 4 of those.
So I'd been in a couple of fleets and they were meh.
I've been in a couple of fleets and they've been meh. Took over one, brought it in for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I left because no one was hardly on it.
I took it over and brought it into our armada.
This one says I joined on December 26, 2015, which doesn't sound right.
December.
When did you join DT?
This This be Jason. So
oh, you know what it is though? I
You're
quit the fleet to go start another fleet, and then it came back in. That's why. When we were helping people get some fleets started, so I guess because otherwise everybody's been here longer than I have.
Yeah.
And I know I joined it during the summer, so yeah, I must have quit for a while to help somebody start their fleet. I wonder if I have anybody else. I don't think I've got anybody else in this fleet anymore.
Well, Lera, be glad. Feel free. My ad handle in games is actually is Darkthorn. So just
in our group ancillary, whatever it's called, the research needs to be active. Someone needs to select an active project for the research part. For strike group.
Feel free to add me as a friend if you want it. And whenever you're ready, if I'm in game or if Mom's in game, she's at Brondo Mom. Is there underscore in your Brondo Mom? I forget that right now.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good question. I don't have a good answer for that.
Yeah, there is an underscore. Yeah, she would be. Yeah, Mom's would be. I'll put Mom's in here too.
No, is this for
Yeah, it's for Lera. I'll just figure.
Okay.
Just send either us a friend request and ping us, PM us at.
I already friended her.
Oh, you already did? I didn't.
Yeah. Well, some of us are better at this.
Well, I've been splitting my focus around here, so.
Yeah, I know how it goes.
Yeah. And there it is. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to go to bed, so. The rest of the show is yours, DT. You got a whole 6 minutes.
Yeah. I got a whole 6 minutes or longer, depending on how I feel. And
right.
Hey,
no work tomorrow.
Okay, I want to go to strike group ancillary.
Ancillary.
Yeah, ancillary. And activate all the researches so I can add stuff. There's no research projects on there.
Sure, if you want to. Do you need me to do it?
Yes, please. Just
okay.
I can't do it. Otherwise, I would.
Hang on, let me log back in here.
Sorry.
That's okay. That is not a problem. Just take me a moment.
Alright, Lera, I got you added on my friends list. I got you commented out because, let's be honest, it gets really hard to track people after a while. Being in the game, look how long this list is.
And you get your notes in there as to who's who, right?
Yeah, I start putting. So literally, probably about a year ago, it got to the point I just gotta put notes in on who's who, or else I'm going to go insane. Even if it's the same freaking name as on both sides, I gotta put it in the I comment them out now, or else I would go, or else I'd be going.
Right here.
There's so many people. I don't know. Where are you on my list? But anytime you're in game, if I'm in game, you want to run something, unless I'm tied up doing something else, feel free to PM. Yeah. And if I'm doing something else, quite honestly, I'll miss the PM. So.
Yeah, that's when you get a big stick and just whack them upside the head.
Yeah. That's when, because we're friends now and you'll be able to find me, you'll just show up and go, hey, talk to me. Sort of like what Mom does.
Mm-hmm. Are you ready, Board King?
Yes.
Mom will stream every morning about,
6 a.m.
6 a.m. Eastern time right now. Then we do this again, was it 8 p.m. your time when we normally start?
7 p.m. my time.
7 p.m. Eastern is the evening point. I'm on Mountain Standard Time, and my job, I'll be here Monday and Tuesday. We do Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday on the weeknights I should say, and I'll be late on the weeknights, and I'll probably end up taking over from her and running an extra hour or something. Hour or two, just to make up for the time. But her stream starts like 3-4 a.m. my time, and it only goes for an hour in the mornings, and it's like,
yeah,
unless I'm awake doing something or wake up very early,
or hasn't gone to bed yet.
Yeah,
Okay, now I'm going to bed. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. You're welcome. Bye-bye, everybody.
Yeah. Good night. Good night, Mom. And now we're back. And now the stream is all ours again. I got this camera back. I had it over for classes the other day. That's better. And now we will take over the stream again. Haha. And hey, Obi. And Obi for Shobi. How you doing tonight? Anyway, like I said, it's all Q&A tonight. If people have questions about things, I'll try and answer it as best I can. No guarantees it'll be a good answer, but I'll try to answer it. We've seen the mask I'm going to get, geeking out and having fun with that. We've seen how long I've had this character in Strike Group, and it feels like forever and a day now. No, seriously. Seriously, again, fleet-wise, you get off a good fleet, you will tend to want to have a lot of people in that fleet because it is a home, it is a family, it's a good thing to be around.
I remember how long my main's been in a fleet.
Well, in the fleet. Well, you're only going to be
able to... I'm checking that right now.
Yeah. Just go to if you want to find out Board King, you go to the roster and the fleet you're in, and then you just hit the join date.
September 13th, 2018. 4:50 a.m.
You were up late that point.
I was...
2018, that would be...
It doesn't seem right.
Well, you might have jumped to a different fleet to help out with somebody.
No, I think I got kicked out of the fleet somehow and then brought back in.
Might have been a purge point. I mean, if people have gotten purged accidentally because the fleet does get full, which is why I've started moving people to alternate fleets where needed. Ah, good. Hope you're streaming well, Obi. Anyway, I think I'm gonna go back and do another. I think I gotta take a look at what my Klingon's doing right now.
Weird. I know on Eve it'll, like, if you play Eve online, it'll show like all the fleets you were in the past.
It might actually be in your log history. I don't know for sure. Okay, hit 65, have a Paladin tier 6, and want to know if there are some good starter build ideas? Yeah, there are actually. I've looked at places. There's DPS League, which has stuff. You can find stuff on one of the Reddits, but it depends on what you want to run. Lera, what do you want to run with for your Paladin? Do you want to concentrate on beams? Do you want to do torpedoes? Do you want to do something that's more cannon? Do you want to run cannons? Because, I mean, I am the type of person, I will actually go to a character that has the Paladin and we can play around with some ideas and see what we can come up with. This guy bring him back to Earth. But the first point is you got to figure out what you want to do. I mean, one of the people are going to give. You can talk to different people. You can talk to different ideas. Me, I've done some high level beam builds. I've got a decent torp build coming together. I also tend to like doing builds that are a lot more support or screen accurate. Okay. Let's go with something that's a beam build here. Let me get back to Earth quickly. Let me clear these missions too. Let's go back to Earth real quick, and I'll bring out my Paladin, and we'll play around a little bit and start some basics. But I would say if you don't really are tied down to if you don't like having your nose to everything all the time, and you want to move around more, I would recommend beam arrays, which I can show some of the basics here. Which generally there's a lot. Are you going to go with phaser on your ship, or are you going to go with another energy type?
Sounds like a candidate for Thursday night's DT.
Yeah, but my Thursday night's a little weird. It's going to be a little weird for indefinitely.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, move it to a different night maybe.
So yeah, might eventually be a Tuesday. Might be pimp my starship Tuesday instead of pimp my starship Thursday. Okay, phaser's actually a good energy type to start with because you can craft stuff. There's stuff in reputation you can do. We'll get you started on a phaser build. Okay, here's this. This looks different, but this is actually the Paladin here. So, and I just got a bunch of phasers on here at the moment. So, the easiest high damaging build that will keep you alive is actually going to be. It's going to be this thing here. It's called Beam Overload. Might see if I have 3 on here. Because it's a high energy beam point, and it will allow you to actually just shoot off. It will actually targets a single ship, and in high-end runs and even lower-end runs, as you learn, that will generally mean that not everybody is not going to come chasing after you, which is always a good thing. Let's get this thing kind of quickly set up just for a quick demo. I have no torps on this thing, so I don't need to worry about that at the moment. Alright, it's quick and dirty enough. Do a little basic patrol here. But here's a quick demo. I should have done that on late, but we'll make it work. But here's what beam overall will look like, and this is literally completely quickly thrown together. There's no advanced points on here. Other than consoles and stuff. But the big beams are the beam overloads that are firing off. And this is, by the way, just an elite patrol, so it's not even the best. But beam arrays are a good point to start with a beam build because literally you can just fly by them like I'm doing right now, and you can still just shoot them. Go straight forward. You don't have as many, but And there are a lot of things you can get for that too, so that'd be the basics. I mean, there are when you're in a good fleet, then you get consoles that'll help that out. That'll help beams out. Generally doing a similar energy, getting ones for a specific energy type are better, but you also can do ones that can actually benefit all beams. Technically, I should do some more of this ship later. Don't think I'm gonna play with the patrol anymore at the moment, but that's basically that's what a overload build is gonna look like. But as you see, unless you do cannon, rapid fire, but you get a lot more coverage when you do stuff. You can move around a lot more. And like I said, this ship is actually the Paladin. I just have the Tier 5 skin on there is all. Okay, you're dying a lot of normals. Okay, so there's certain things you're going to start off with. It's going to take a little bit of time, but the first point is, if you're dying a lot normal, first point I would recommend is doing Discovery Reputation, because that gives you access to a lot of extra items that'll help out. Like there's certain consoles. That's why I went so long. I don't even have the right. That beam overload point took me a while because all I had was 3 consoles and literally 3 consoles and Mark 12 and Mark 11 and 12 weapons. But the things you're going to want to get are there's a mycelial warp core and there's 2 items in the Discovery Legends, which scroll down here. If you get the mycelial harmonic core and the telepending shields off the Discovery Reputation, that increases your ship's reputation regeneration dramatically, and they are probably 2 of the strongest defensive items that you can put in game on a ship. Another good point off there, there's actually a good phaser in the Reputation too, and a console and actually a fairly good torpedo too. There's actually a mission for an Omni Phaser if you ever wanted to do that, which would actually, the other way people do things, I'd have to change ships. I'll just get out of the patrol and do that. There is a lot of gear. There's going to be a lot of gear in anything you do right now, but and like I said, the first point is getting your reputations together. That's usually the easiest way to make sure you get more survivable. But I mean, I'll go to the shipyard and you'll just see how much gear I have on some of these ships, and I'll go over some of the better stuff as I see it. And this is not my high DPS character, but he can survive an elite patrol and do decently. Alright, start my support ship, which has some of this. One of the things you're going to get, especially with phaser build, are vulnerability locators, which you can get out of a fleet holding. It's like 50,000 fleet credits and I think it's like 8,000 dilithium But those are always good to have.
I think if he's new to the game, D team, might just like induction coils or whatever they are, phaser ones.
Huh?
Free ones.
Yeah.
If he's not got a lot of dilithium and
Yeah,
whatever.
if she doesn't have a lot of dilithium, and yeah. And we can do
and
we can help do patrols and stuff like that, which will get you that.
Quantum phase consoles and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going through some of my ships here to pick up stuff here.
Sunrise.
Let's see. The Ordnance Accelerator is Gamma Reputation. That actually boosts your phaser damage. It's a good thing. Reinforced Armaments comes off the mission. And this is actually a free one to do. You can just do the episode of... let's see those New Frontiers. Beyond the Nexus. There's a good omnidirectional. And a good... And a console there, which are actually good for your ship. It's actually a good startup. Oh, you have the vulnerability locators. You actually have the trilithium armaments. So that's a good point. Let's see, what else do I have on any of these? Like I said, this is not one of my this is not by any means my strongest character. Major Defense 2-piece, that's a good one. Generally, if you're wanting to do more damage, you'll end up picking up like the Preservation Protomatter Deflector. Yeah, you have that. That's a good one. But survivability, like I said, the better one is usually going to be the Tilly 2-piece. The Discovery 2-piece is usually a better survival one. Fleet Core is always good, but even if you just get the Tilly Review Shield, it's literally one of the strongest shields in game.
You don't think the Aegis or Aegis Corvin shield is good?
Aegis is aged out. Aegis is aged out a long time ago. Plus, for newer players, unless you get the officer in the recruitment events, it's very hard to get. Or you're spending EC on the exchange for it. But Aegis is really aged out. Okay, there is actually a shortcut you can do actually on a discovery reputation. And don't tell people that. I'm going to share it with the audience here. You go to a private, you go to Defense of Starbase 1. Set it to Elite if you want. And then what you do, run to the edge of run about 150 kilometers away from the starbase. And the funny part is, it'll time through. The Klingons will not kill any of the transports. And so literally you can go in there, sit there, do nothing, and gain marks. Or if you'd rather go with a group, ping us while we're on. I'm sure anybody in this fleet, I'll be glad to run with you on patrols. I'm sure we can get groups together and run through the patrols, run through the discovery rep missions, or TFOs, I should say.
Hey, which Discovery set did you say was good for shields?
The Tilly Discovery Reputation Tilly Shield.
Oh, that must be tier 4 or 5.
Yeah, it's tier 5.
Okay, I'm not there yet.
No.
I have always.
Yeah.
I'm at 4 right now. Well, I'm going through 4.
And the Lorca and the wide-angle dual beam phaser is wider than the cannons or the dual beams that you normally do. It's probably one of the better phasers you can put into a ship. So, I mean, there's a lot of... Discovery has a lot of surprisingly good gear. Back to my support ship. Yeah, the non-baryonic asteroid is a good trade-off there. Oh, Tyler's duality. That is one of the better traits. More hull you get on your ship, the more damage it'll do. It is an excellent trait. I think I'm even using it as my support build.
Where do I find the Lorca's custom fire control console?
That'll be Discovery Rep, higher tier than you're at.
No, okay. Tier 5. Everything's tier 5.
Could well be. Let's go take a look.
Because I can
Discovery
do the
reputation,
wide. I can do the wide angle phaser.
Yeah, Lorca's custom fire control is tier 5. The Tilly shield is tier 5. The dark matter quantum.
That's tier 3. Yeah. I'm there right now.
Yeah. Dark matter quantum's a good one. Dark matter quantum's a good one. You can 2-piece out the beam and it's still pretty good. The Lorca fire control's better. Tyler's duality is a great space trait, and yeah, because again, you're going to get a lot of critical based on your hull capacity. So, and having more critical in this game is always good. Because I've done criticals where one shot does. I think I've had criticals over. I think I've had criticals that. I think I've had like. I know I've had criticals that do over 100,000 on a hit easily. I think I've had stuff that's been around 1 million sometimes. Yeah, I've had. Doesn't happen often, but I've had criticals that do 7 figures of damage. And a Borg looks at me and goes, "Is that all you got?" Let's see, what else is there? It's good you have the consoles. If you've been doing the Red Alert the other point, you're going to get those ultimate tech upgrades. Another good point for upping your damage and survivability is using those tech upgrades to upgrade your equipment when you can. The other point is they will have going on, as I wait for that to refine. They have, starting tomorrow, the Phoenix event. Pick up the Phoenix boxes. Always get those. Another point that the Red Alert also gave you an X ship upgrade. Doing the X upgrade to your ship, especially if ship you got, I'd wait till you do tier 6 reps and get a fleet version, but the X ship, the upgrade, you get another console slot, which is always good.
Here's a question. I know you can't see it, but
yeah, no, I can't see it unless you share your screen or something.
I'm not streaming.
No, you can stream. You can stream over Discord.
No.
But ask away.
I'm looking at this big ship that's like oval shaped for the. I know it's weird. It's
a big oval shaped ship.
It looks like the Enterprise J, but I don't think it's the J.
Is it a different player?
Is it a different?
It's a different player. Yeah.
Yeah, right click on him and go to info. You should tell you what ship it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says Temporal Heavy Dreadnought Cruiser.
That's the J.
That's the J?
Yeah. It's Universe class. It's Universe class, but they're Temporal Heavy Dreadnought Cruisers. If it looks like the J, it probably is the J. Might have a Vantage Shield on there.
I'm not even sure if I have that one or. Bye. What's it called in the Temporal Heavy Cruiser?
Dreadnought Cruiser.
Dreadnought Cruiser.
Okay.
Well, Lyra, if you have, the other thing is, if you have an excess of fleet marks, or even the specialized points like I'll go over to the bank here. Like, for example, the Borgnor processors, you can actually sell those off for dilithium. Problem is you still have to refine it, unfortunately. Which is why on my primary character we saw that I have over a freaking 1.5 million to still refine.
Is that in the Zen, that ship I was looking at?
No.
Or in the,
it's an R&D, it's an R&D promotional ship. You might find it on the exchange, but it's going... But more than like...
billion, probably like $1 billion, right?
2.
Figures.
They run... Promo ships, Board King run about usually $1.5 million, $1.5 billion, I should say, to $2 billion. And generally speaking, your better point would be getting onto one of the trade channels for them. That's just the that's the unfortunate fact of life about that.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing we can do, Lera, well, we can probably do a few TFOs and things like that, and we can get you like 8,000 a day to refine, which will add up. The other point, when you have the red alert events done, and that's still running for a couple of days. When you get down for an event, you actually start earning bonus dilithium you can refine too, which is always good. The event starting tomorrow is part of a year-long campaign. I don't know how long you've been in the game, but technically you can get a ship out of it, but you had to end up doing about 5 events through the year to do it. The winter event will have a ship. There will be a ship. Generally, there's been a ship that's released in the anniversary, which is January. We recently had back Pavel Defense, I believe, had a ship. There's a lot of free ships that come out, and around the anniversary they'll also release a couple of other ships, but they're generally tier 5. Oh, you've been playing for a week and you're actually that far into after a week. Congratulations, you're doing well. I've known people who've been in the game have been in the game for years and haven't gotten as far as you have, so yeah, sorry, my voice. As I said earlier, I do a lot of talking for work, so my voice gets a little. I need pauses at times, and I need my water. Okay.
Yeah, I found that ship in the exchange is going for 1.5 billion.
Yes.
Like the only one available.
Yeah.
The Kirk, that's what it's called.
And I swear I'm not wasted. We're helping people do their builds. Okay. As far as points go there, the other thing you can do, there is a buyout on the event. You can click that and see where you are on that. Or you might be able to buy out some of the older event campaigns. And
can you turn in contraband on Romulans?
Yeah. Fed-aligned ones for sure. You gain the contraband on the Klingon-aligned people, and you turn in on the Fed-aligned. Like I said, anytime I'm on, feel free to ping me. I can even give people Discord names if they wanted to do that, but that'd be more of a game PM if I do that. I'm glad to help people out where I can, as long as I'm conscious to. If you catch Mark here in game, he's another good person who can give you advice to help out. Don't overwhelm her, Mark. She's been in game for a week. Don't overwhelm her.
I'm still trying to figure out the game, so don't ask me. And I've been playing for a while.
Yeah. 6,000 Zen might be just one of the event buyouts, and like I said, unfortunately, you're going to need about... Yeah, I don't know what the big event buyout... Oh, the event buyouts for the Kronos event. The older events... yeah. The older events... Well, technically, yeah, I mean, unfortunately for 8,000, you can actually start getting other ships, and there are honestly... I'm not going to lie, there are honestly a lot of good ships here that can go together for builds. Generally... Oh, 2K each? 2K each on the events? Past events? That's actually not bad. And I did mine. I actually sat down and did mine. Man, I feel foolish right now. I could have had so much dilithium. But some of the good things you can do is you can actually pick up various ships, because they all have traits which will actually help a lot with elite endgame builds. Like, for example, the Arbiter's is a pretty good standard because it has a trait called Emergency Weapons Cycle, which increases how fast your weapons fire. If you want to do the event buyouts and get one of the more elite ships that way, there are several good ones that you can pick up. It all really does depend on but I would honestly, if you're going to go for a promo or an R&D ship, I would honestly, there are a couple which are really good to get, but there are also a couple that I would say there are a lot of possibilities that are also, I would say, if you're just looking for stuff for a build, I would say you should hold off till you know what you want to build. Because there are ships like the Vodwar Juggernaut, which has a great trait, but there are also ships like that unfortunately you can't get right now, like the Mirror Crossfield, which... Oh, you did the away from there. Yeah. Like I said, you can AFK that every half hour, and you will get... Yeah. Unfortunately, they can blitz you going out, but once you get away from them, you're good. It's golden, like I said, and it'll time out, and you get your stuff. It's sort of secret, but it's not secret. But that is... I like playing it myself, I really do, but if I'm like really close and I can't get a group that I like to run with together for like Starbase 1, I've done that, I admit it. I'm a bad person, but it's a good thing. But the only reason that works is Starbase 1 is actually a time-gated TFO. There's... But I mean, the reason that happens, and like I said, I really hope. It's a good thing, and it is a very good thing to do, like I said. I mean, hell, if there were a way to do it, if I could actually log in, if I can actually use a laptop at work, I'd log in at work and do that, but I can't do that, so I just come and do it all. I just come and do stuff on stream with people, so which, like I said, I find it a lot more fun to do that. The other one is, like I said, when I'm tied up I can't get a group that I like to run with together, because trying to do elites with people you don't know. Starbase one's more forgiving, but sometimes it's just not good. As far as spending money, event point you get 2 ships, but by the time you do the buyouts from where you're at, you're better off buying things like for example, you're better off buying ships like the Da Vinci. Like the Da Vinci is actually a pretty good ship when you're starting in Beam Overload, if I recall. It's always great to be able to have options. Options are good, and like I said, Discovery has a lot of gear that's going to help in game. The other one that's good, but you're going to have to run with people on there. There's no, because they're fail conditions and you can't really FK that. Your Gamma Rep has good stuff in there. For example, scrolling down here. If you don't have this yet, the Ordnance Accelerator is actually a really good item. It ups your phaser damage, ups your torpedo damages, so that's always a good one to have. Other good things. Another one that's going to be hard to do, and for this, honestly, do patrols, just take the marks there. Competitive is good because one of the good things for endgame builds will be the prevailing innervated impulse engine, because that will give you a speed boost when you go into a firing mode. First thing you got from Aretha. Alright, Ordnance Accelerator is a good thing. There are things that will eventually replace it, but the Ordnance Accelerator is a good thing to have. The prevailing iterated impulse engine, if you can do competitive, like I said. Borg, there's some good stuff in there. Borg, the Assimilated Council is always a good one to have. The cutting beam is decent. The cutting beam is always a decent thing to have. Not a lot on LeraKuro, if I recall. Romulan Counter Command has a couple good items here and there, but it's okay. It's okay, plus the fact is there's a lag, so anything you hear me say is actually anything you hear me say is literally probably about 5 to 10 is like probably 10 seconds later, maybe more, maybe less. But that is some of the basics right now. There's obviously there will be a lot more. There's a lot more advanced stuff that can be thrown together here. Let me go over to. Actually, you know what? While we're here, I'm going to jump over to my main character, who regretfully I made an engineer before I knew that I was going to go DPS crazy on him. Just so you can see some of the stuff on what is definitely a higher end build. And we don't even want to know how many hours since 2015 that I've spent on this thing. And we're laggy out right now, so there we go. Now this is a much higher end build than what I was demoing with. The disadvantage is it's a lot like your cannon build. It kills things in front of it all the time. That's about it. That's its best design. Yep, get the console, get the Omni, get the torpedo if you want. Really run it 3 times. Lera, I'll tell you what, ping me tomorrow. I will be on tomorrow night. Or if you want to, ping me now. If you want, we'll run through and I will. Oh, you did sunrise 3 times. All right, you got almost everything you need. This is my higher end build.
I'm gonna go to details. See you tomorrow.
All right. Mark, the other point on there, she might want to get the turret because the turret also can do that 2-piece set with that console. But this is a higher end build, so literally we're running a lot of dual beams on here. The wide angle from the Discovery rep, the Lorca console. A lot of upgrades. A lot of rare consoles to go with the traits. Another good phaser console to get would be another good episode if you've done it. If you've done the episode, this is a good one to do, which would be do the episode Sunrise. The quantum phase converter is good. The 3-piece off there is actually a fairly good one too. It's actually a good free set to get. But Mark, if you do but in a later build you'll get, there are traits for things like the NX refit we were talking about earlier in stream has this trait, which if you have a
I've been playing a weak DT, so I don't think lockbox ships are just like free stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. It's good. I mean, like I said, down the road. This is down the road stuff. It's always good to do the missions multiple times when you can.
It can take months and years to get.
It can take months, it can take years. Depends on budget.
The best stuff in the game.
Yeah.
So it's best to just start simple first.
Or she could get lucky on keys too, which is a different point. Keys on endgame builds can be your friend, or they can be your curse. But there are a lot of good things.
You can sink money into the game. That certainly moves things along quicker.
Yeah. Actually, Larry, you really want to know? You want to know something? There is no shame in flying. You can do. You can go. You can. You may. You can survive and do fairly well with an endgame build with any ship as long as any ship you enjoy flying. Third lockbox you open. It took me like 3 months when they start lockboxes for me to actually win something. And then they had upgraded freaking tokens. But yeah. There's nothing wrong with flying a ship that you're picking a ship that you're going to enjoy. If you like the ship, it's great. It's great. There's nothing wrong with it.